hey, yes, I'm driving, so I'm going to focus on the road. You can focus on me or put me down or listen to me in your earphones or whatever. But I just got another download from yesterday's car chat conversation about belief, all right? I know I didn't finish that discussion, so I'm going to finish that discussion eventually. I'm going to get to it, I promise. However, today I wanted to double down on that by helping us understand something called 3D. We need a 3D approach to what we're trying to do. The 3Ds are: 1, decision. You must decide that you don't have another option outside of making this your reality. People ask me all the time, Coach, what was it that finally made you change your mind, that finally made you decide that this was going to be the thing that you did? And I kid you not, I looked in the mirror and I was like, all of a sudden, I don't recognize myself. All of a sudden, here's this woman who has been who I was for all these years. And now all these years later, I finally take a moment to look at myself and evaluate what's happening internally in my life, look at myself and realize I don't recognize you. You're not the same happy person. You're not the same generous person. You're a lot more reserved and antisocial, and you've been sad a lot lately, and you've been treating your body without respect. You haven't been acting like you care about yourself, and now it's manifested. All the things that have been going on internally have manifested externally. And right now you're at a critical moment. Yes, Sean, I'm talking in third person again. Right now you're at a critical moment where you have a decision to make about whether or not that's okay with you. As you're looking at yourself and you're looking at your circumstances and you're looking at your body and you're looking at your life and you're looking at your finances and you're looking at your relationship, you're looking at this and evaluating this. And the beautiful piece of that is that you get to decide if that is the reality that you're going to live in. You are a creator. If you want to go there with me real quick, weren't you created in God's image? Isn't God the master creator? So you are also a creator, which means that you can create your reality. And in that moment, while you're looking at yourself, you get to choose whether you want to continue to exist in the reality that you've created or whether you are going to create a new reality for yourself. 1, you must decide. The 3Ds, and the first most important one is the decision that you're going to make to not accept your current reality and to create a new one. And as you decide to create a new reality, the second piece of 3D is deep understanding. Oh my God. The reason why I'm such a great coach is because I'm an educator at heart, which means I have to get down to the base level concepts of something so that I can explain it to you, right? As an educator, when I was in the classroom, writing a lesson plan wasn't just writing a lesson plan. Writing a lesson plan was understanding what my student needed to leave my classroom understanding, right? What is going to allow my student to pass this exam or pass on to the next grade? What deep understanding does my student need to have in order to pass on to the next thing? And so how do I need to understand this so I can teach it to my students so they can understand it, they can pass on to the next thing? I am literally still an educator, which I love. I love my job. But deep understanding is part 2 of 3D. A deep core level understanding of what you're trying to achieve. And so you might hear me talk about protein and macronutrients and carbohydrate timing and sleep and rest and recovery and fill in the blank. You might hear me talk about those things. And I talk about them so often because I need you to have a deep understanding of what you're trying to do. Here's the thing about the human body. The human body is so scientifically accurate. Your body is so accurate, so precise, was designed with so much precision that it's essentially across the spectrum. Most human bodies are going to perform the exact same way. We all have the exact same functions. We all do the exact same stuff. Our bodies work in the exact same manner. Now, you're unique in your personality. You're unique in your belief system. You're unique in how you grew up and how your paradigm was shifted by the people who have raised you and who made you who you are, right? You're unique in your knowledge and your education and your career field and all that other kind of stuff, but you're not unique in terms of your body, which is why you need a deep understanding of how the body works. You need to be a master's level educator when it comes to the body. And that's what I'm trying to help you achieve. 1, a decision. 2, a deep understanding, deep knowledge, deep understanding of how your metabolism works. What is my metabolism? What is protein doing for my metabolism? What does exercise do for my metabolism? What is fat loss? How does fat loss work? How does resistance training support my fat loss goals? How does body recomposition, as I focus on building muscle, how will body recomposition ensure that I don't have to do this again? Right? How does exercise or rest from exercise and cortisol and hormones and sleep, how do all of these things influence what's happening to my body? Because my body follows a very specific set of rules that is unique to the human species, that is the same for every single human, that I am not uniquely special and my body doesn't follow the same rules. That's not true. Your body follows the same exact rules as every other human body that was designed. Your body follows the same rules. Probably within a 99% margin of error. Your body follows the same exact rules, okay? So a deep understanding, a decision, and then the final D, the last D is discipline. 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 A continual showing up. A devotion. A commitment, a continued commitment, devotion, discipline. You are now, like, the root word of discipline is disciple. And not even just in a spiritual sense. The root word of discipline is disciple, which is student. You are a student of your body. Isn't that beautiful? I've decided that this is what I'm going to do because I don't like the other options. And when I look down the line at the other options, I can really quickly see that, like, this is leading me down a path of destruction. So I am going to decide that I'm going to get better. From that decision, I'm going to develop a deep understanding of how my body works. And I am in the most wonderful place to learn about how my body works. I'm working with an educator, right? A master's level educator. I'm working with a teacher to understand how my body is working, right? And then finally, I get to develop my discipline, my astuteness. I get to develop my devotion. I get to develop my sincere showing up, my investment in my growth and my development. I get to be a disciple of my body and of this process and of my health. And as me becoming a disciple of my own health, I get to build other disciples who are also going to become disciplined and decided and develop deep understandings in their bodies. Y'all, this works. It's possible. We talked about that yesterday. Not only is it possible, but it works. And your body is not so special that it can't work for you. It works. But the reason why it's not working is because you haven't actually decided that you are going to sacrifice the other decision, the etymology, the root cause. Decide, divide, right? Decide you're going to kill the other option. Decide you're drawing a line of separation between the two. Have you actually decided that that's not an option for you anymore? That's what it takes. Decide. Then deep understanding, learn, and you're in the perfect place to learn. Keep studying, listen to these videos, get on the Canva resources, get on my Instagram page. We talked about that yesterday. And then discipleship. Show up every day. You become excellent at your job because you have to show up 5 days a week. This is no different. We need you to become excellent at this because you need to help somebody else become excellent at this. Okay? Decision, deep understanding, discipleship, discipline. All right? Happy Wednesday. Share them with me. You can share them in the chat function. You can share them underneath this video. But I hope this was helpful for you in understanding the 3Ds that we're trying to approach to make this a reality. We'll keep on with this mindset stuff. I hope you enjoyed this car chat. I'll talk to you soon.